Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into what I like to call the great coffee mystery. For a long time, we've known your morning brew does a lot more than just wake you up, but the science of how it actually works in our bodies has been a bit of a locked room mystery. Well, a brand new study from Texas A&M University, published just this April 2026 in the journal Nutrients, has literally busted that door wide open. We're going to look at the exact biological mechanisms that make coffee such a powerful tool against aging. You know, for decades, observational studies have continually linked drinking coffee to a longer life and a much lower risk of chronic diseases. We could clearly see the broad results in the population. People who drank coffee just tended to fare better over time. But the actual biological mechanism? That has been a complete mystery until now. Scientists were just left scratching their heads, wondering exactly what was happening inside ourselves when we took a sip. Okay, let's dive into this timeline. For the past several decades, the whole investigation was kind of stuck in that observational phase. We knew coffee reduced disease risk, but not why. In recent years, scientists really ramped up the search for a specific biological mechanism. And that brings us right to April 2026. A massive breakthrough by Dr. Stephen Saif and his amazing team at the Texas A&M College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences finally cracked the case. They linked coffee to very specific cellular receptors. So we finally have a biological how to match the observational what. To really understand this breakthrough, we need to transition down into the microscopic world.
Section 1. Meet the nutrient sensor.
Say hello to our prime suspect, NR4A1. It's a nuclear receptor protein that Dr. Saif and his collaborators describe as a nutrient sensor. Basically, it's a protein that monitors our diet and helps regulate gene activity whenever there's cellular stress and damage. Think of it as your body's microscopic first responder, just constantly on patrol, fighting off the everyday wear and tear of aging.
Dr. Saif actually sums up its importance perfectly. He says, if you damage almost any tissue, NR4A1 responds to bring that damage down. If you take that receptor away, the damage is worse. I mean, that is phenomenal. This specific receptor is absolutely crucial to our fundamental health and our body's ability to repair tissue when we get stressed.
Let's zoom out for a second and see how this builds into the broader health picture. Take a look at the conditions closely tied to the NR4A1 receptor: inflammation, cellular aging, cancer, neurodegeneration like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and metabolic disorders. If those sound familiar, it's because these are the exact age-related diseases that coffee has observationally protected against for years. Seeing this huge overlap is what led researchers like Dr. Saif, along with Dr. Robert Chapkin, Dr. Roger Norton, Dr. James Kai, and Dr. Shoshana Eaton, to investigate if there was a direct physical connection. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact biological chain reaction that kicks off in your cells. Step 1. Your body experiences some kind of stress or damage. Step 2. Compounds from your coffee swoop in and bind directly to the NR4A1 receptor. Step 3. That receptor activates and gets right to work reducing the cellular damage. It's a direct physical interaction happening inside of you right after you finish a cup. But, the researchers needed to be absolutely sure that the coffee was acting on this specific receptor. So they ran a critical test. When they removed NR4A1 from cells in laboratory models, the protective health effects of coffee completely disappeared. Poof, just gone. This is literally the smoking gun of the entire study. It proves that without this specific receptor acting as the lock, coffee's ability to slow cancer cell growth and fix damage just vanishes. But hold on, because the investigation is about to take a really surprising turn when the team looks at exactly which parts of the coffee are doing the heavy lifting.
Section 2. The caffeine plot twist.
We all naturally assume caffeine is the star of the show here, right? Well, let's compare. Yes, caffeine does bind to the receptor, but it actually shows very little active effect in protecting the cells. The real heroes? Polyphenols. Specifically, compounds like caffeic acid. These polyhydroxy and polyphenolic compounds are incredibly active, and they are the actual drivers behind the disease protection. And by the way, these are naturally occurring elements that you also find in tons of fruits and vegetables. Now, what's really interesting about this is how unexpected it is for the average coffee drinker. As Dr. Saif notes, caffeine binds the receptor, but it doesn't do much in our models. The polyhydroxy and polyphenolic compounds are much more active. So that massive jolt of energy you feel in the morning, that's the caffeine. But the long-term cellular armor, that's all thanks to the polyphenols going to work on that NR4A1 receptor. And here's the beautiful consequence of that discovery.
Because polyphenols drive the health benefits, rather than caffeine, all those large population studies showing that both regular and decaffeinated coffee offer similar health protections, they finally make complete biological sense. It beautifully validates the decaf coffee drinkers out there, proving they're getting the exact same biological longevity benefits as those drinking fully caffeinated cups. You absolutely do not need the caffeine jitters to get the cellular repair.
Section 3. Your Daily Cup Reimagined.
So, zooming back out to the bigger picture, while this study is primarily mechanistic, meaning it explains the how without necessarily changing our current dietary recommendations just yet, it opens up some incredible doors for the future. Researchers are looking at unlocking how plant-based diets generally regulate aging using these pathways. And even more powerfully, Dr. Seif's team is already using this data to develop brand new synthetic compounds that target this receptor even better than natural ones. We are talking about the groundwork for massive future treatments for cancer, neurodegeneration, and other age-related diseases. It really makes you look at your morning brew differently, doesn't it? Dr. Seif summarizes it perfectly. Coffee is a very complex mixture of compounds. It's a very potent combination. It is just so much more than a simple caffeine delivery system. It's a super potent biological toolkit that your body uses to activate its own internal repair mechanisms.
Which brings me to a pretty fascinating thought to leave you with. If the polyphenols in a simple, everyday cup of coffee are doing all of this incredible, hidden work to fight aging and reduce cellular damage, what other everyday foods are secretly reprogramming your cellular health? Something to chew on. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and stay curious.